Welcome to the first greatest podcast in the world. Oh, yeah. We have a lot of guests on here today. We got Moro the Jogauni, Raven the Cat, Scales4Sales the Dragon, Shock the Fox, and Strypez the Lion-Raccoon. Man, these people just make up these species off the top of their head. They're crazy. Let me just explain. So a Lion-Raccoon is a lion-raccoon, and a Jogauni is this sort of weird dingo fictional creature on Second Life. Now, I gotta say that, because, come on, I mean, who knows? Even when Moro was like, yeah, I'm a Jogauni, no one here had any clue what the hell that meant. He was the only one! Sorry, not everyone plays Second Life.
Actually, there are plenty around, but yeah, generally it's run from Second Life, so.
Yeah.
I played Second Life and I didn't even know.
I played Second Life a little bit, and then I just got creeped out from it. I mean, no offense to people who play Second Life, but I kind of question which of them actually have a first life.
Yeah, it gets really freaking. It gets really creepy with some people.
Okay,
I go on now and then. It's like I'm not one of those people that, thank God, not one of those people who are always on it. But
I mean,
the easiest way to explain what a Jogauni is, I usually just name drop. If anyone knows who Arctica Sparkle is, boom, done.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that all people on Second Life don't have a first life. I mean, the person who introduced Second Life to me, she's got a great life. There's nothing wrong with having a second life. But yeah, I kind of like, I don't know. I don't go on it a lot. Like, I go on it like once every 5 months, maybe. And that's usually after someone begs me, oh my god, I'm fix life, I see something really cool because you go, oh my god.
Yeah.
I am a little bit more frequent than that, but I barely spend any time on it.
It's about the same with me anymore.
It gets boring.
Other things get more important, definitely.
Mm-hmm. All right, now in reverse alphabetical order, I'm going to introduce everyone. Strypez the Lion-Raccoon. Talk about yourself.
Hey guys, I do music for a living, really. I'm currently at university in my third year, going back this September. Yeah, pretty much I make synth pop music, really. It's kind of 80s synth, bringing it back into making it more modern.
All right, we have Shock Fox. Yay!
Hello.
Canada.
Sorry.
Yes, and I believe I'm the only Canadian in here. Well, anyways, I'm Shock the Fox. I'm a fursuit dancer, artist, and yeah, that's about it. I'm not special.
Oh, no. Everybody's special. Everyone is special.
Oh, and I'm also I stream games and all that all the time.
And then we have Scales4Sales, the capitalist. I mean, dragon. Why did I say capitalist?
That's so cool.
All right, go on. Tell us about yourself, dragon.
Well, the reason why I came up with the name Scales4Sales in the first place is I wanted to be known as a business-type artist, where I actually do artwork for money, of course. And the type of art that I do is between sculpturing, drawing, and sewing, and everything else like that. I'm on Twitch with my fiance, and I'm also a full-time mother.
That is so
cute. Your accent is amazing.
How many kidlets do you have?
Kidlets is 2.
Raven the cat.
Hello, dears and darlings. I'm Crystal the Red Persian Feline. I'm a jewelry designer from Kentucky, and I'm just perfectly happy to be back on the podcast this week.
Moro the Jogauni.
I'm Moro. I'm an art whore, I guess, and I do music.
I am Khord Kitty. I am the piano kitty. I like to play piano, and hopefully I'll be able to play piano in suit as long as I ordered some new pods where you could actually play the piano. I have this one video on YouTube, and I'm trying to just poke at the keys, and it's just kind of hopeless.
You're hitting 3 at once.
Yeah, one pod hits 2 keys. It's like, no, this is not going to be... It could be an avant-garde piece, but that's about it.
I was going to say, you can make your own music for that. It's like, this is my music. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, let's get to the topics. I'm going to start with my topic first because it's the most serious. ISIS! Ooh, yeah, baby. Chicka wow wow. All right, well, ISIS clearly stands for Indonesian slutty... No, I don't know. So ISIS, they're a crazy terrorist group that's trying to make their own country. How successful do you think they're going to be, Shock?
Of course, you come to the military member first.
Totally.
I have been following the situation. I think they're all just fucking insane. But at this point, I'm not at liberty to say anything, if you know what I mean.
Oh, and this is probably the right time to say, hey, all of you Syrian furries, and I'm sure there's loads of Syrian furries out there, and Iraqi furries, this is the perfect time to have a vacation. Check out Hawaii, maybe go to Honolulu, Japan, all over the place. This is the perfect time to get a vacation. Just saying. Consider it. Possibly a permanent vacation. Like, okay, I
Yes.
just got this message from one of my friends. Oh yeah, this Pakistan fur I know. He just came out as atheist. I'm like, oh, well, that's nice. Is he in Pakistan? Yeah. Oh, actually, they execute people for being atheists. I would tell him to kind of move along, kind of consider a new location.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So that's the Middle East. Isn't that fun? All right, ISIS. Ooh, that kind of goes off my tongue real well.
You're not part of them, are you?
Or am I? No, I'm not.
Because it's really caught everyone off guard with the fact that they're not just from one country, it's an international organization.
Oh yeah, they
So-
said there's at least like a dozen Americans in it. I'm like, oh wow.
They're saying there's probably over 100 Canadians in it.
Let's go to a completely similar topic. Dead Mouse versus Disney.
Yes, the Dead Mouse versus Disney. Basically what happened is Disney looked at Dead Mouse's trademark logo and said, hey, that looks like Mickey Mouse. We are going to sue you. And,
Who was on what drug? And like, seriously.
and Dead Mouse came back with them saying that Disney went and stole his music when they did the More Ghosts and Stuff remix
And I've actually seen
Without
this remix yesterday.
without his permission. So, and then Disney came back after that saying that his comment was not valid.
What?
So in other words, Disney is like, okay, you don't have something that looks similar to Mickey Mouse, although the design is completely different, even if you just do an outline. But yes, we can yank your music and use it for our personal profit thing, and you get no dime, and that makes sense. How?
Yep.
I mean, okay, I can see the resemblance actually. If somebody stood on Mickey Mouse's head with a 10-pound anvil, that would probably make him look like Dead Mouse.
And here's a outtake from a Disney spokesperson. Disney vigorously protects its trademark rights, and we oppose Mr. Zimmerman's attempts to register a logo that is nearly identical to our trademarks for his commercial exploitation. Our opposition is not about the use of the Dead Mouse costume. The music was appropriately licensed, and there's no merit to his statement. That is what Disney has to say.
Sorry, I've been very quiet, but I just now got a room for Furpocalypse.
I thought that con was done.
No, they actually, what happened was Fur Fright was last year. Then they revamped it with new people that's doing it, and they just renamed it for Apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
But they had a good run. Like, Fur Fright started in 2003. They went on 10 years. The organizers dissembled it for ambiguous reasons. And then it got restarted with a few of the staff members of the Fur Fright, and now it's Furpocalypse.
Okay. Well,
I've
if
actually
you're
never been to a furry con, so.
It's an
I
experience.
just recently went to AC this year, and I am going to MFF as well.
So I just looked on the WikiFur page for furry cons, and apparently they have New Year's Furry Ball on there, which means that it's a convention, but even though it's just one day long, and because of that, that means I've officially gone to 10 furry cons.
Oh.
I think I should get some sort of diploma of some type. Am I not entitled?
You need a badge made out of like gold or something that you can wear on your fursuit.
Please, I want 2 of them. You know those people who rule those African countries, and then they have they're dictators, and they have the their bodies just covered in like these awards and these medals and stuff. That's kind of what people who have been to 10 cons look like when they go around with all of these,
con badges,
war battle, whatever badges all over their. Although after a while, it looks kind of silly.
So you basically do not want to look like Orion with his coat of many badges, right?
It's hard to take super seriously.
I was just reading more into it, and it says this. This is Dead Mouse's comments. I never gave Disney a license to use my track, so we emailed you a cease and desist. Alongside the cease and desist, Zimmerman posted a personal message to Disney. Have a magical fucking day.
Take that.
I've been reading about it as well. I saw that he's had a cease and desist letter from Ferrari USA as well. Something about a Nyan cat on a Spider F1 edition in the 2003 game. And one of his tweets he's posted on that, I wonder if the jackass lawyer at Ferrari USA who sent us a cease and desist letter over the Ferrari is unbutthurt now that I unwrapped.
That's kind of like that's a David Goliath thing to me.
Yeah.
Throw the rocks, take that, Disney.
Yeah.
It sounds more like an advert war.
Stop it.
But he does have merit behind it, so.
Yeah, if they're using his music without his permission, that's a clear thing.
Yeah.
After he wins the case, he's probably never going to have to make music again.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a huge electro dance music fan, but I listen to a little bit of Skrillex every once in a while, and maybe a bit of Moby, but I don't know if that counts.
I like Daft Punk.
Love electronic music. EDM, electronic
rock.
music.
Oh yeah, I like EBM too.
But
tell us a few names of EDM artists that we got to look out for this year. This year, and they're
Dead
good.
Mouse, DJ Snake. There are some songs I like, and then some songs.
Yeah, I'll admit I've heard dubstep that I've liked, but most of it's just like, okay, can I stop listening now?
Like seriously, listen to the beginning of "Kill Everybody" by Skrillex and listen to "Rock and Roll" by Skrillex. They're the exact same intro on two separate pitches.
Yeah, I'd believe that. You could totally copy yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, if you add together 5 Nickelback tracks, will it be 1 quarterback track?
Pretty much.
All right, let's go to the next topic. Companies selling unfinished products. Now, that's a bad company.
DLC in gaming. Yes. Every gamer loves this. Especially when games these days are full price selling for like $60 a game. And then day one DLC comes out the next day. And EA, they are the worst people in gaming to do this sort of thing.
Don't talk to me about EA being horrible. I play NHL. I have to deal with the EA support servers, okay?
Oh, my life. I mean, I feel for anybody who wants to buy a game fresh off the shelf and not promote the second-hand market. I mean, that old debate when the Xbox One was coming out and the PS4 and Xbox One and not allowing you to use your old games and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, what the hell was that shit?
Oh,
Yeah,
I hated
they got
that.
So
they got
funny.
so much bad feedback that they
So
instantly changed that.
Yeah.
The one thing
I
that
actually
really
own an Xbox One, so.
The one thing that made me laugh was that Xbox made people from their own company go to PS4 promotional events and badmouth Sony at the events. And I thought, really,
No
Xbox?
class.
Can you
No
fall
class.
any lower? It just got me so riled up.
I mean, to be honest, these are probably going to be the last consoles that ever come out, because at this point, you're getting consoles that are basically doing the same thing as a low-end gaming PC without all the freedom of it. So it's like, it becomes, what's the point of it anymore? You could just go buy a PC and do everything else, everything that you want. The only thing that consoles generally have going for them at this point, because they're trying to be these multimedia things rather than just gaming platforms, is the fact that, console-only releases.
I have a quote actually here from EA's COO, Peter Moore, and he's like, once we get that disc installed in the tray of an Xbox or a PS3, we then look at our consumer on an ARPU basis. I don't know what ARPU is, but he carries on to say the other key thing is selling digital content on the day of the launch. When we sold Mass Effect 3, which is a big game, everybody was pissed off with the ending, but yeah, it was a big game back in March. We saw a 40% attach rate that first week to DLC at GameStop, apparently. So it's like not only are you selling a $60 game, you're selling $20 DLC, so the sale becomes $80. Is it just a cash grab now, or like, come on?
DLCs
surely
are just cash grabs.
All right, I found out what ARPU is average revenue per user.
Ah, okay.
That was
The other
that.
example I've got is a game called Ragnarok Odyssey Ace, which is a MMORPG for PS3 and PS Vita. And that game has 46 items of add-on content that are costume-based, weapon-based, appearance-based items on the PSN store. For some of them are free. I will let off that some of them are free, but some of them are about 99 cents. Small prices like that. Small little things that just make your character look better. Is there any point to that, really?
Well, actually, I want to say something about that part, is that maybe they're just trying to make a little bit extra money to put into the game to give the player more of an experience along with everything else.
That makes sense.
And if you want to if you want another example of a cash grab for DLC, just mention Call of Duty.
Oh my god,
yes.
yes.
Map packs. I mean, I know they take a lot of work to design, but really, the price of some of them these days?
Yeah, they're all minimum $20.
It's
Are they $20 now? Oh my gosh.
And I thought the expansion packs for WoW was expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You wait a couple of years and they go down though. Like that's
Yeah.
what I'll give them that. Like I started playing WoW and I got the original one, and then I waited a couple of years and got 2 for 1 in the same deal.
Yeah.
but
I
if
can't
you
remember
think
the
about
names
it,
now.
You wait a couple years, no one will be playing that game.
Oh, that's
Well,
true.
WoW kind of misses that though, really, because like
Yeah.
that's gonna carry on. Like I don't think the servers for that game will ever die.
As long as they can come up with new maps and new things to sell for expansion packs, because there's parts of this game you can't access. Expansion pack coming
Yeah.
2014. Rah!
Mhm.
Like I love my MMORPGs. I use them to escape the real world, but like I don't want to pay to escape. I could
Yeah.
run away from home and escape, and that'd be free. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of my point. That the DLC.
What's the other
is
game
just-
that just came out is like Destiny or something like that? That's another one that's like you pay for the demo that was on Xbox One.
Ooh, I will look at that
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. And
oh,
it's like
Destiny beta, yeah.
yeah, and everybody paid for that, and then eventually it's like this weekend you get it for free, and then it's gone. You get to use it only for a weekend, and that was it.
I
Sounds
did
about
want to
right.
play Destiny actually because it looked kind of good, and I remember watching the PS4 like spotlight of stuff, and when they announced it, like you could not hear what they were saying for the crowd because they loved it apparently. I mean, it's a shooter. It's it looks like the classic MMO shooter. It kind of reminds me of, if any of you like Sword Art Online, the new one that's come out, the gun
Which one?
game online. It's Sword Art Online 2. If you watch the anime, where they're all playing gun games and it's quite professional. Destiny kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love Sword Art Online. It's kind of like my favorite anime ever.
But the thing that was funny though is that you paid for this download and then it disappears off of your thing.
Yeah, that is a bit weird. I mean, PlayStation Plus, I don't know if any of you guys have a PlayStation Plus.
I do.
But like, yeah, you get the free games every month,
Yeah.
and then if you let your subscription end, you lose the games.
Yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah, you get a free game. You get 6 free games for 3 different consoles every month. For PS4, you have to have the PlayStation Plus subscription to be able to play online games. But for PS3 and PS Vita, it just gives you 2 free games every month. And if you let your subscription run out, I have a yearly long one, so like that's about £40 for me. So it's what, $55 for you guys. And if I let that run out, so if I don't top it up at the end of the year, I lose all the games that they've given me throughout that year, and I can't get them back.
There's actually a way that I get Xbox Gold for a month for free, doing like these little things on Bing. So I've been doing that. I've been getting like free Xbox Gold. So yeah.
I don't know. Games world is just, it feels like it's dying. Like the old days where you could buy a cartridge and put it in a box and press 1 or 2 buttons on a controller and play it, like Earthbound. The price of that cartridge now is £100 and plus. And it's
Well,
a classic game.
Everybody's moving to the computer because one, it's cheaper. 2, you get better games because you have more space versus on a game console. So that's where everybody's going.
I don't know if I want to include the PC versus console topic because like it's a big topic. I mean, yeah, I run Macs because of my career choice. Like I believe Macintoshes are better for music, so therefore I don't have the luxury of owning a PC. I therefore choose to game on consoles such as my PS3 and my PS Vita. I've never owned an Xbox though. I've never really got into the Microsoft gaming consoles and stuff like that. But I've given Nintendo a try I've got a Wii and 3DS and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I like Nintendo.
There's something about Nintendo that I've always liked Nintendo for quite a while, and I feel like what they've done lately is they kind of fallen back on let's be innovative but not be serious, which is totally fine. But they're actually killing themselves right now. And one of the biggest things I feel like they're actually killing themselves in is not allowing any of their content, or not allowing much of their content on YouTube.
Yeah,
Because
I love
a lot of the things with gaming nowadays is you have people who pick up on the game and they'll play it, like like a popular Let's Player will play a game, and a lot of people will go out and get it because of their opinion. And if you never allow them to play Nintendo games, no one gets to see them, and no one makes an opinion on them, and then everyone's like, oh, well, these games must suck if no one's playing them.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say something. I noticed that when you have a Twitch channel or something like that, and people watch you play these games, they're actually more motivated to go buy the game because they're like, I want to do this,
Five Nights at Freddy's.
No. Bad. No. I don't find it scary. It's just
I am done with it.
That shot through the radar. That shot through the radar so quick. I literally saw one video the next day, every fucking where.
yeah. It's like Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like Flappy Bird was kind of the same way.
Yeah.
There was that many people
mentioned
playing it on
and then,
Twitch.
oh my god.
Oh yeah,
I
Flappy
didn't
Bird.
Yeah.
even know Flappy Bird existed until it was supposedly taken off the market, and then you had all these people that are like, "And is my Flappy Bird?" And then for the next month, all these emulators and lookalikes of Flappy
Yeah.
Bird. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What?
funny. A friend of mine actually linked it to me. Was like, "Hey, check this game out," and I played it. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I found out later that apparently it was called Flappy Bird, and everyone loved it. I had never heard of it, and it never even caught on to the hype until it was over.
I was only regretful that I didn't join in because I wanted it on my iPhone to sell for the amazing amount of money that iPhones were selling that had a
Oh
Flappy
my
Bird installed.
gosh, that was ridiculous. It was somebody that had
£1,000 for a phone just for an app.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much just for a discontinued app because people are flipping crazy.
People are flapping
Yeah,
crazy.
and I don't get it because that game made people go crazy.
That game is annoying. I played it
Like,
once
what?
and
I mean,
said no.
Swipe.
I feel I'm sucking a lot of the time up. If you guys want to move on, that's perfectly fine.
It's fine. I like talking about games.
Yeah, me too.
This is sort of
This
is kind of what I do every episode. I'm like, oh, you guys are talking about gaming again. I'm gonna go play my casual games because that's the only gaming I do.
Well,
The more time we take on this topic, the more time we have to give Scales for Sales.
That's all right.
No, yeah, I've always been a big gamer, and I always have a good opinion on, or well, not good opinion. I have a very informed opinion on it, so I can actually sit here and talk about it rather than just kind of be like,
I think anybody that likes to consider themselves active in the gaming community loves to have their opinion because
Yeah.
we make the community that the companies are selling to us. You know, we're the
Exactly.
most important part of their business. Without us, they would crash.
some of them seem to forget it. Some of them seem to forget that, though.
Yeah, Call of
Customer's
Duty.
always right, and that should be remembered. That should be like,
Activision's the same way, yeah.
the customer is always right should be plated behind a piece of glass and stuck on every business's wall that makes games or likes to consider themselves like top game makers,
Yeah.
just so that they don't forget that we exist as well and our opinions are valid.
It's our money, and we just choose to spend it on indie games
Yeah.
like Minecraft.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
I
God.
love Minecraft. You could sit
Yeah.
there for hours. It's like, you know what, just for 30 minutes, and then like the whole
I
day's
just want to
gone.
find another diamond, just one more
Somebody-
diamond, and I'm.
Yup, exactly. I'm not done building my house yet. What the heck?
Exactly.
Somebody built a 1-to-1 scale model of the Enterprise in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
wow.
This.
Minecraft, yeah.
That's actually the most popular Minecraft video on YouTube currently.
Yeah.
That's how I've
Really?
seen it. I don't even play Minecraft.
You should. Oh my God, Khord, you should.
We'll get.
I don't pay money for games unless it's like 2 cents or
Tell
something.
somebody to buy you your
I'm
birthday.
not buy it for my birthday. Yay.
When's your birthday?
Although it's
I'll
like,
get it for you.
oh, it's probably like $80 now.
Oh,
Might as
No,
well.
whatever.
it's not even
Yeah,
that
like
high.
$15, $20?
Yeah.
A friend of mine, got it for me when it was in beta, and I'm so fucking happy he got it for me because I loved it. It's like yay.
Most do
Anyways,
another couple of games as well, but yeah.
yeah. One of them was Scrolls, and Bethesda was all up in arms about that shit.
Oh yeah, that was funny, going back to
What?
lawsuits and stuff. Well, but
Yeah.
Mojang wanted to trademark a game called Scrolls, and Bethesda were all like, "Oh shit, no!" 'cause
Wait a
the
minute,
Elder
we have
Scrolls.
the Elder Scrolls, yeah.
I'm
So-
actually playing Skyrim right now,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I was playing Skyrim earlier. Fucking love that game.
Of course.
and
Are you-
now I've been
I'm
playing
playing-
Elder Scrolls Online as well.
I'm actually playing Guilty Gear right now. So
I'm playing
It's
Plants
good.
vs. Zombies 2 right
Oh
now.
my god, Garden Warfare? That game is so cool.
I'm surprised none of you are playing Sims 4 right now.
No.
I've never been a
not
big
enough
Sims
money,
player.
not enough time, and not enough caring for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
basically.
problem with Sims.
It's a complete grumpy cat response to Sims 4. Just no.
Yeah. No.
No pools, no game.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. Moro, near-death experience. Oh my,
I
that
had a-
sounds dramatic.
Hello?
I had a near-death experience lately, and I can share it. But first, I was wondering if anyone else here has had one before.
Kind of got into a car accident made where it's like
Right.
I'm very deathly afraid to go drive again or even be in front of a car. So, yeah.
I don't know what would you
Yeah.
class deja vu in this as well, because I've had that, but not near-death experiences.
No, because it was literally almost dying kind of a experience, I guess.
Okay.
No.
What kind of deja vu, though? I'm curious.
Well, it's little things. Like, I see myself doing something that I remember doing before,
You're like,
but
"Oh,
I
I've done
can't
this before,"
possibly
yeah.
have been in this situation once. Like, if
I
I've
have
been in this
those.
I
situation
know
once...
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's scary.
So-
I've been having large bouts of deja vu lately.
I just don't like it. Go on.
So
feel
my
very-
near-death experience, as most people don't know, people who are close to me know, I have non-epileptic seizures and I have different health problems. Let's just put it that way. And I had taken my dog out to go to the bathroom, and she ended up chasing off after a cat to chase off the property. Chase off. So I went after her to make sure she didn't get into anything, because we have some stuff in the backyard that she shouldn't be getting into, just because it's kind of dangerous. And we had some concrete laying around with I don't want to go into a huge story, just suffice it to say there was someone living here at one point who was doing construction work, and he brought some of the concrete home because he's like, oh, I could do something with this. He never did, and he left, and he never took the concrete with him. Anyways, I ended up next to the pile of concrete and passing out and having a seizure, and fell onto the concrete and a piece of rebar, and it literally impaled me.
Oh my gosh!
God. Oh, no.
And I still have the bandages and the stitches on right now and everything. And I just came back actually earlier today from them telling me within the next couple of weeks I should be able to take the bandages off.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so I was wondering if anyone else had any stories to share other than that one.
I do.
Sure.
Not from me, but my fiance's mother actually got into a car accident and died twice on the surgery table. And she stated, I know, and she stated that at one point while she was like in surgery that she actually was hovering above her body, seeing herself getting worked on.
Whoa.
So yeah. So that's the only person I know of that's actually had that close.
Ooh, that sounds so close to journeying.
It was it was weird. I got actually very lucky because it hit low in my lower stomach. And it actually just hit my intestines and missed my stomach, and so it didn't hit anything vital. My intestines didn't take any, kind of got scraped, but nothing really that major. I did wake up while still on it, which really sucked. But
the good news is now that because you're alive, you could go to a furry con and get your intestines scraped a different way.
Oh God!
God damn it!
Sorry, that was bad. But my near-death experience was this. So this was 2011. I lived in Illinois at a fur house for like 3 months. It was very short. And what happened was I was going to go to drop off some mail. And it was about 98 degrees. The humidity was like 70%. And I was like, oh, this shouldn't be too hard. It's just a short walk. I was wearing jeans and then went out, got lost for about an hour. And so what I did was I got a Gatorade. And I thought, oh, that'll do me fine. And then I tried to cover I used this binder with me to kind of try to shade my head. And then by the time the hour was over, I kind of gave up trying to find the post office. And I tried to walk back home. And then I started getting like majorly dizzy. And I ended up flagging down some random car saying like, oh my God, I'm dying. And then I went in the car, and then I ran inside the house. Like after he drove me there, quickly took a shower. And my roommates didn't know anything of it. I didn't really want to concern them, but that was I'd say my closest.
Wow, almost having like heat stroke and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, just about as close as you could get. I think it was like heat exhaustion in the end, but because I felt like I was going to throw up. It was awful.
Sounds it, yeah.
Yeah, sounds very awful.
I mean, I've had out-of-body experiences and deja vu and all that sort of stuff, but I've never had a near-death experience. I mean, there's apparently a book been released called The Ascent of the Blessed. Don't know if any of you guys have heard of this. No. It's apparently a new book that's it says is proof. This new book is proof near-death experiences are real. And it's apparently detailing a nurse's story about a 60-year-old man who'd been suffering from sepsis after surgery for cancer. And apparently this guy has had a near-death experience, told her all about it, and she was able to completely verify everything he'd seen because she saw what was happening in the real world, whereas he'd visioned everything in kind of this. He was floating upwards towards the top of the room, and he saw everything in the room, and she was able to verify it because she was actually there.
She saw the same thing he was saying, so it wasn't like him just making shit up off the top of his head.
Was there any point during the floating that he got to talk to the flying spaghetti monster?
If he didn't talk to the flying spaghetti monster, it's not real, clearly.
Somebody's a doubting Thomas.
Oh boy.
That does sound extremely scary.
Yeah.
Considering it sounds 100% real, and somebody's verified what somebody saw.
There's also another thing about the whole body thing, getting out of the body and stuff, that sometimes there's a spirit that will come into that body and take residence of that body.
Insidious.
Yeah, actually, there's been reports of that happening, where somebody gets into a car accident and then they wake up being totally different. Like, not even amnesia, but totally different, like having memories of another lifetime.
All right, let's get to our artist interview. The Scales4Sales. Ooh. Special guest of honor. Hallelujah. You are a dragon, and I'm assuming a Western dragon?
I am a Western dragon. I'm actually modeled off of a Dungeon & Dragon style dragon. Emerald dragon. Been playing Dungeon & Dragons since I was like 16, so fell in love with the aspect of the shiny dragon, so yeah.
Although I'm assuming in Dungeons & Dragons they didn't have those eye protection things on your
Goggles?
head.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
My own twist.
Well, hey, you know.
At least you're not a chromatic dragon.
No, gem dragon.
Because, like, every time I play Dungeons & Dragons, I don't remember any yin-yang earrings on the dragon. That just seems a little weird.
Actually, that's a piece of jewelry I used to have when I was, like, back in the day of teenagers. I used to wear something like that constantly, so, yeah. Put a little bit of myself into the character, just like what everybody else does with their personas, skill saunas, and shell saunas.
Except for me, because my persona, she just walks around naked all the time. I would
You
never
mean you
do
don't? You mean you don't? Lies.
That's the most part about being a furry.
Right?
That. Fine. Maybe I did it when I had my own room in college, but that's it.
So you walked around a 4x4 box. College room's not that big in my estimation.
Scales4Sales, you do art, but you also make fursuits, and you host your own show on something.
I do not, actually. What it is actually under my fiance, who is Demigod 420, and he's on Twitch. And what I do is I go in there, basically the
Go in there and you steal the show. Got it.
Yeah, sometimes I go in there, I put my fursuit on, and I like, hey, look at me, I'm the pink friggin' horned cat that's sitting next to him, and it's like, what the hell is that? And it's like, oh my gosh, it's a furry. It's like, yelp. So yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's so fluffy, I must pet it.
Oh gosh, I've been called the pink dinosaur cat, which is like, no.
Insert recolored Barney here.
No.
Barney let
That is the
himself
one
go
show
a
I
bit.
did not let. Yeah, no, I did not let my children watch Barney. No, I just couldn't stomach it. Sorry.
Yeah, watching Barney, that's kind of like child abuse.
Yeah.
I love you, you love me.
Oh, God.
It's teaching you to be friendly towards Tyrannosaurus Rexes, which is just, not safe at all.
Right.
Not at all. Not yeah.
Well, they need some love
But yeah,
too. They're tiny little hands. They can't reach anything. If they have an itch on the top of their head, they're
Vestigial
screwed.
But yeah, I think you're the first guest we've had who actually has youngins, and now you could
Shitlins.
tell us about your indoctrination methods so we could learn.
What do you mean by that?
Making them into
for the
furries.
future furries.
Well, I don't know how I could sit there and say how to raise your children, because everybody has their own techniques and everything. But for me,
Oh no, like the converting them to furries.
Oh, you
that's
convert
the-
them to
that was
furries.
easy. Just like
Yes.
monkey see, monkey do type deal.
So your kids are monkeys. All right. well,
No, actually, my daughter.
they're dragon. No,
My daughter's not
they'll
dragon.
figure out their personas later.
My daughter's not a dragon. She's actually a black griffin. Now, my son is a six-tailed fox, which I'm sorry to say, anybody who is a fox out there is kind of generic. Sorry. Everybody seems to be. It is. I'm sorry.
I don't want to.
Now I don't know if the parental community in the fandom is super close or anything, but if you know, there's this one kid who appeared in my Anthrocon video, and he's like this bat, and he was dancing around with telephone, and I'm sort of curious to know who the parents are, so I could send him the video. But do you know of any bat kids
No.
in Anthrocon? No, darn.
I think Batman's parents were dead, weren't they?
That would make sense.
It's awful.
Too soon.
Who knows? Well, maybe I saw the adopted parents at con.
Oof.
But yeah,
You have to send it to Walter.
But yeah, how's your scales for sales?
Just call me Scales. It's a lot easier.
Fine. You see, first you were like, oh, could you call me
Well,
Scales? Okay, no.
the thing-
Now you're
Scales
back
for
to
sales.
You're did you vote for John Kerry, Mr. Flip Flopper?
No, the reason why I said Scales for Sales is because I want to be known who I am, because there's a lot of scales out there. So it's just like if they say Scales for Sales, Google search that, they're going to find me versus like Scales and find like 5 or 10, 15,000 people.
Product branding.
But one important thing is that your name is spelled with the number 4, not just spelled out Four. It's like Scales, number 4 is sales.
Yep.
So they'll need to know
Or
that.
FR, it should make a bit more sense.
And actually, I have a tattoo on my character that does S4S. So.
Well, now we got the whole dragon or angel dragon craze. Has anyone gone to you as a fursuit builder and said, "Hey, make me one, please"?
No, I'm all set with being an angel dragon too. I just want to be me and not everybody else.
But I'm asking whether someone has commissioned you as a fursuit builder for one of those.
Well, actually, to be quite honest with you, I'm actually at the beginning of being a fursuit builder. I'm on my 4th suit right now, building a husky. So I'm basically what I'm doing as a fursuit builder is building him as in my design versus doing it for a commission for other people, because I feel that I get artistically cornered, and I just don't want to do that. I do that with my drawing art and all that stuff because when I first started off as an artist, I wanted to be a horror artist, but because the furry community doesn't really look upon horror art, they look more cute and fuzzy, I really don't go far.
You should submit something for the Furpocalypse Con book, because that's exactly what they're looking for.
Well, I did
Fur Fright's not around anymore, sadly.
I did one
But
for
for
Fur
pockets-
Fright, actually, like 2 years back. I did one of all military dogs, huskies, Akitas, and all that, going against the convention hall itself with zombies coming out. And I had like freebies where it's like, you want to be a zombie, put your name up there. And if you had like a character that's like friggin' 5 stories tall, you're not going to be in it. I had one hurt butt over it, but that was it.
Who had a macro?
It was a macro. And I was just like, no, dude, I can't put that in. It has to be
Can't
at
have
this
that big of a
size.
Zamber.
Yeah.
You know, the sucky thing is when you're a hurt butt macro, everybody knows it's a hurt butt because it's so big.
Yeah.
So, with your fursuits, like, have I seen them at Anthrocon?
No, I went to Fur Fright last year, 2013, as the...
I went there too,
Then
actually.
you must have ran into me. I was a pink horned cat. I can send you a picture of that later on. Actually, Moxie, I went as Moxie Dragon Kagan. Moxie Kagan, and she's supposed to be a pink clouded leopard Kagan, or cat dragon.
Now, since my first con, there was further confusion 2009, I'd been just a witness. I'd have my camera everywhere, recording everything, and didn't do any of the suiting until this Anthrocon and FAU, and that was like my start of suiting. So now I'm able to kind of, now like when you're in a suit, you kind of could now sort of talk to the suitors, because you could go into the headless lounge and you're like, oh, so that's the person under that suit, which is good. But yeah, before that, I just like would make a huge effort to get to know the people behind the masks, because you know, when you're in a suit, that's like one of the rules for at least half of the fursuiters out there is like, oh, sorry, I can't talk. Yeah.
No.
Well, that's the thing as a handler. I'll just comment on this. There are suitors that choose not to talk because they choose not to because their characters don't talk. They don't believe animals talk. Or it happens to be a male and a female suit, or a female and a male suit, and they don't want to ruin the magic that way.
Have they ever been introduced to the idea that meowing is cat talking?
Yeah.
Just saying.
There's actually...
I do that.
Everybody chooses to, and not everybody is a cat or everybody meows. But then again, if you're going to go up to a suitor, one of the two things are most likely true. Either one, the suitor will, mime at you, and it's usually very simple, like how to have a hug, can I take a picture of you, that kind of stuff. It's become second nature to me, and I might just do a podcast topic on that at another time if anybody would be interested. But
That'd be cool.
okay, maybe maybe for next time. But anyway, as I was saying, it's not, you're either going to find that if they choose not to talk, that they can pantomime to you, and it's usually very easy to understand once you know what you're looking for, or they have a friend or a designated handler, like moi, that does the talking for the suitor.
Now, what I did when I was in the Anthrocon Fursuit Parade is I hissed at like most of the people that I looked at. It was like if they had a camera, I just
that sort of thing, I guess. And that
because it was stressful. It was only my like second day suiting, and I did this fursuit dance video on the roof, and right after that was parade, and I was in a bad mood because it was like, oh god, this is gonna give me heat stroke. So
yeah.
I was hissing.
But yeah, it can be very taxing on your system to be very active in suit. That's why the general thing in the handling community is within about 2 hours, you at least need to give your suitor a break or severely encourage them. Hey, go up to the room, go up to headless, go, to this inconspicuous hallway and essentially take off your head, pop your top, however you want to say it. Because it is fun to be in character and you're having a great time and you're living on adrenaline. But every suitor's day would probably be ruined if you passed out in the middle of all that fun.
Now, I considered skipping out on the FAU parade because the parade literally ended an hour before the fursuit dance competition. So, that's kind of like a recipe for heat stroke right there.
Then again, con staff has made the best efforts that it can, just speaking in generalities because I'm not con staff yet. But they've done their best to make sure that it's fun and safe for all the suitors.
Do your suits breathe?
Well, right now I'm actually working on more of foam for lightness and stuff, but if I'm actually going to install some fans into my other Moxie head just because I go out and go to the campground and entertain the kids there with my suit on. Of course, they're just like, what the heck are you? It's like, oh yeah, it's like a cat dragon. It's like, oh, can I have hugs and pictures and stuff? And I do it just because I want to see people smile more than just the attention.
Now, if you have a fan in your head, is there any way that it impairs your hearing?
Actually,
because it's loud?
Actually, I talked to what is this? Crazy Joe Fox or something like that. He made his own suits and he was showing me on the mechanics of having if you ever see him, he's like a blue fox at the conventions and stuff, and he has animatronics in his face. And he showed me, yeah, and we actually sat down and had like a good couple hours talk about fursuits and how to build it with the mechanics in it. And he was telling me the best way to do it is to have it above your head. You can hear if you have it at a certain, I gotta go look at him. I have it written someplace else, but I'll pull that out later. But he was telling me that certain fans are not as high, so it's not going to impair your hearing and stuff, but it'll actually keep your head cool. And you have one that goes in and one that goes out, so you're having exhaust fumes and everything else. But
now, if anyone wants to see video of him, if you look up my video, just Google Anthrocon My Experience, and on my video I have a whole section with him showing every part of his animatronics thing.
He is so nice.
Yes, and apparently this is kind of shocking to me, but he's probably the only fursuiter I've heard of in his 60s.
Yeah, it was hilarious too, because me and my fiance last year at Fur Fright, we just sat down in the restaurant that was in there, and he sat right next to us and he just started talking to us. It's like, hey, it's like, yeah, this is our first convention and everything else, and he was showing us don't be afraid, there's an ugly old man underneath there. And he was he took his head off and he showed us all the stuff, and it's all gears and stuff, and he was going through the explanation of how it works. And it's I'm probably gonna go down and try to do that one day myself. But
now, if you're to start your kids on making fursuits, then they'll be the masters of the fandom by the time they're 20.
Oh yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I'm saying you should impose hobbies on your kids, obviously give them the freedom of reign, but that would be really interesting to see, how good somebody is with making a fursuit when they start that early.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I do have an 11-year-old she's going to be 11 next week on the 15th.
Tell her happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday from the podcast.
Well, I'll tell her that. But she started drawing when she was probably about 3 or 4 years old, and every year it's every kid's what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? And it's always been art supplies. supplies. It's like easiest child to ever shop for. It's like pads of paper, colors, and everything else. Like you have these people who's like, oh, I want the newest Transformers or whatever the fad of the year is. She's always been like, just get me this, Mom, and I'll be happy. She just recently got into the Pokemon thing, but it's just like Pokemon and drawing or anything artistic. That's my child. So easiest child to shop for ever.
Yay!
Yes.
Do you foresee her opening up for her own commissions or taking requests or whatever soon?
She already have last year, actually. She started doing commission artwork last year in school, and she came home, she showed me like she got like 50 or 60 cents, and people were like giving her like items and stuff just for her to draw tails or Pokemon stuff. And when I saw that, I was just like, oh my gosh, my heart. It's like, you were just a little up, it's like, yeah, maybe I might be a capitalist, but it's like, I do know the value of money and stuff, and it's actually rubbing off on my small child who's actually learning that money is not grown on trees. You have to earn it, and the way you earn it is you have to be creative about it.
Yay!
See, that's too bad, because I learned, if you get the right seeds, you could plant a really great money.
You got to find the right season that grows like the best money tree ever.
Yeah, and you can't set it on fire.
Nope.
Gotta sell it.
With your art, the fandom has some of the just darkest, dirtiest, awful art ideas imaginable, and what they're willing to pay people, it tempts them to question their own limitations. Now, how do you approach such a conundrum?
Well, I do have a separate account. It's called Taco the Dominatrix, and that's actually a whole just pervy name altogether. I sat around in
something you hide from the kids.
Yeah, I was sitting around in this chat thing called IMVU, and I was sitting around with a bunch of friends.
Oh my god, I know that.
Yeah, I was sitting around with a bunch of my friends, and it's like, I gotta come up with an adult account because I don't want to mix all my clean art with my dirty art. And it's like, oh my god, I got it. I'm gonna be a pink Siamese cat, and we're gonna be called our Taco the Dominatrix. It's just dirty across the board. And so that's how I came up with my adult name. And my limitations for that is I don't do scat, I don't do urine, and I don't do puke because, ew. It's just, I don't know.
Bodily fluids are generally a no for most of them.
Yeah, well, it depends.
Darn, you just took all of my commission ideas. What am I going to do now?
You can still do, like, the other stuff because, the male seed just spreads all over. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't want to be dumped with feces or being peed on or anything like that. So it's like, what would I not want to do? And it's like, I can't draw somebody being puked on because there is a fetish for that also. Oh, and another thing, too, of course, being a mother, I will not do children.
Yeah,
children,
no, thank God.
That's God. I seen that, and I'm just like, it makes me think, it's like, if they're willing to draw small children doing things that's questionable.
Believe it or not, there was an artist recently who just got arrested for child pornography.
Now, is Twitch the competitor of live stream?
Well, the live stream, you can actually do a lot more. Twitch, you can only do, like, games. Anything game-related, like building a game.
Everyone knows
games.
Twitch, Pokemon.
Right. But the only thing, with stream, with, say, like, live stream or something like that, it's more open, where you can do a lot more with it, versus Twitch is, like, games only.
I know people who go to live stream to show them, to show off art. A lot of people use other things like Tiger Dial and stuff like that, which are better for it, but some people do use live stream for it, too.
Yeah. I do live stream because that's what I've been doing for years. At first, I didn't want to do it because it's just like, who wants to sit down and actually watch somebody draw for hours on end? And it's like, all right, I'll do it. And
there's this mass market of all these millions of furs waving money in your face. That's it.
Well,
it's.
I don't want to change the subject, but I got my first bag of sunflower seeds a few days ago, and I ate it yesterday. And I don't really know, how do you properly eat it? I confused the heck out of me.
Okay, there's two ways. You either crack it open in your fingers, or you put it in your mouth and crack them open in your mouth. Eat the seed in the middle, spit out the shell.
Yeah.
That's the two ways.
Now, here's the problem: when you put it in your mouth and then crack it open, sometimes you mistake what's in the seed and the shell, and you end up biting on the shell and
Yep, that'll happen.
getting that, and then the seed, you can't tell the difference sometimes if you cut it open in an abnormal way.
You gotta feel it out. You gotta feel it out with your tongue.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so traumatizing and
You gotta
confusing.
feel it out with
Okay,
your tongue.
now-
That's about the best advice I can give on that.
all right,
I-
back to
I get sunflower seeds. I just get them roasted, so I just eat the entire thing. Nom 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 nom.
Wow.
I'm all set.
That's
I usually just get the ones that's already been shelled.
Oh yeah, just the
It's-
bags, just the seeds, just pour them in.
Yep.
It was a whole new journey for me.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
All right, so Twitch. So basically, you play a game with other people, and then you comment on the game on a live stream or it's a live stream on Twitch.
Well, the thing is, my boyfriend basically does it like Monday to Friday, and I just walk in and stuff. Once in a great while, I will go in there and play like the horror games like Outlast, and we're waiting around to get more games, but that was like so far, that's
Now-
what I've done already.
I don't know if this is digging too much into your personal life, but so you have 2 kids and you have a boyfriend. You're not married, but
Yeah.
you have 2 kids. Is there that sounds like
Okay,
it's
let me explain
taboo.
to you about this type of thing.
Okay.
2 failed relationships. One of the relationships actually ditched me for somebody who's 10 years younger than me. I really don't want to.
That ain't right, sister.
Yeah, very stereotypic. Also, there was a lot of bad juju that went from the last person I was with. I really don't want to get into it. But failed relationships, not because of me, but because I was the rejected, not the ideal girlfriend, wife, whatever. So, yeah.
But somewhere this will go. I feel like we're gonna get into a discussion about like just marriage and like what's wrong with it.
Marriage does work if you actually have 2 people who are willing to work at it. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, you can't have a marriage if just one side just wants to work at it. You have to have 2 people actually willing to do for it. So yeah.
Let's see. Stripes, do you think I'm going to forbidden territory?
No, if it's relationships, you don't need to get married to prove love.
Exactly.
Entirely.
Actually, I just celebrated on the 4 years of being with somebody. So yeah.
And I still wish
Aw.
you happy anniversary.
Thank you. It's just that, you get married once, you get burned. I mean, what is it really? Is it just a piece of paper? It's just, or a ring, a piece of metal that somebody can lose?
It's social commitment is one person to another.
But even at that, though, I mean, even if you put it down on a piece of paper, who's to say that it's going to last forever? Because you can say today you love somebody, then tomorrow you can hate that person. And now you are stuck in a divorce where you have to pay money for. And sometimes, I'm not saying that everybody does, but sometimes that when you're in a divorce, women, not saying anything against my sex or anything, but women will tend to sit there and take half of what your stuff is. Now, I'm not saying that, you shouldn't get married, but if you feel that you want to get married, get married. But if you don't feel like you want to get married and you're just happy just being together, then why rock the boat?
People rush into it too quickly.
Exactly.
It ruins the sanctity of it.
Mm-hmm.
I love to throw that phrase around.
The sanctity of marriage.
The sanctity of marriage.
But you would probably say you could live a happy, long, functional life with a boyfriend that you never marry and have a bunch of kids. I mean, I guess
I
that's
didn't have
totally
any kids
okay.
with him. I have not had any kids with this person.
So the kids are from
As long as
previous
you're
relationships.
the only thing that matters is that you're happy. That's it.
Exactly.
It's that you're happy,
Thank you.
It's that you're happy in your life.
Right.
That's
I mean,
all
you
that
pay
matters.
shit tons
Oh,
of money
no,
for
no,
a
what-
marriage.
What matters more is we have more minions for the future furry army. We will destroy the bronies.
Oh,
Let's destroy them
I have
all.
to say that I actually cut off ties to having any more kids. So yeah.
That's true. One of them might turn out to a brony. Okay, second brony joke. Thank you very much. I'm done. I'll be here next Sunday.
Well, the
Did you
thing
always-
is also with the whole kid thing is I'm gonna be I'm gonna be turning 38 this year, so it's just like, why do I need to have any more kids? I'm almost 40 and I'm all done. I have one of each, which in China that's the best thing you can have. That's the only thing you can have. I feel that if I can't handle more than just 2 kids, so why have more? I mean, I understand there's other people who like to have bunch of kids, but not me. No, I'm all set.
So you have to do what feels right for you,
Exactly.
and I totally can respect what you're doing because I feel the same way about that.
There's like so many people who have kids just because they want to have kids, and then down the road they're just like, I wish I could have done this, and I wish I could have done that. When I get to be about probably like in mid 40s, because I'm all done having kids, I'll be able to have a life again. I mean, I started off when I was 20 years old, and I'm all done. The next step for me, if any type of kids, will be grandchildren. And with that, I will be there for my kids. So
Grandma, tell us a story, tell us a story, tell us a story.
Yep, I'll be called Granny, though. I want to be called Granny because my granny just passed away 2 years ago, and yeah, and it's like she is such a big impact in my whole life because she was always there. My mom is not there in my life right now, and I don't think she'll ever be there. But my granny always have been there, and I want to be known as that figure of a positive role model as an adult. So it's like when my kids have kids, it's like, you're having problems, bring them over here, give yourself a little bit of break. I never had that, but I want my children to have that.
That's
Granny Scales for Sales. Can I have a request again? I want another angel dragon.
I mean, there's always going to be those fads too. It's like angel dragons and whatnot.
Shark Week, Bunny Week.
Yeah.
I actually have no idea what you people are talking about. So
That's fine. You don't have to. All right, Scales4Sales. Before I leave the podcast, I would like to know, and probably other people would like to know, are you open for commission,
No.
and what are your prices?
No, I'm not open because the thing is I've put myself into a financial hole right now. And I've put my hand down or my paw down on all this is that I don't want to get over the head because I just recently cleaned up most of my commissions. So it's like I'm 5 away from being done. But my prices are actually found on, if you look for Scales4Sales on Fur Affinity, and I think I might have my prices on either Weasel or So Furry, but my prices ranges from probably $5 to $60 to $80 compared to, well, like, say, like, if you do a full background, I'm all about the background. I love doing backgrounds. I love doing details. My stuff tend to be, like, on a toony, realistic way, but you can always tell my style compared to everybody else's, as Raven will actually tell you that.
Now, with your fursuits, do you do quad suits?
Not yet, but that is something I really, really want to do down the road. Because
They're so cool.
they're so awesome. It's just like the whole hand stilts and everything. It's like I seen Beast Cub. Beast Cub is like the biggest inspiration for fursuits. That and Art Slave, which I met on Fur Fright last year. She is super duper awesome. And when I actually showed her my Moxie head, it's like, this is my first real, like, fursuit that I've ever made, and she gave me a couple of pointers, but she was kind of like, oh, wow, that's not bad for your first time, you know? Because I do the great big toony glass eyes, because it's just bigger the eyes, the more expression they project, I feel. So the one that I'm actually working on is a teal purple husky, and he has stars on his ears and stuff, and he's got these huge eyes that's like purple and blue metallic. But going back to the question of doing quad suits, I want to do a quad suit, but I want to do something a little bit different than everybody else is doing. You know, everybody's doing the fox or the wolf or the horse. I want to come up with something that Jim Henson would be proud of.
an elephant.
All I
Or
want
a
is
giraffe.
to see quad suits where it doesn't look like they're walking on 2 stilts, because there's some the worst quad suits you see are the ones where it looks like stilts, like it's not shaped correctly at all, and that's
Pony
like
one. That's all I gotta say.
yeah. But exactly 2 hours ago, I found a fursuit dance competition video with a quad suit. It says Isabel Unicorn BLFC 2014 fursuit dance competition, and I'm gonna watch that right when I'm done recording this because that sounds so dope. Can you imagine a horse trying to do a dance competition? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, if you look at the in the Asian culture, they do have the dragon dances, and they have like about 4 or 5 people that's underneath this dragon suit, and they're just like jumping on these sticks and everything. And it's just like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that from junior high school. I call it a traumatizing experience number 543.
Is that because you were under a dragon?
No, it's because the dragon head, the Chinese dragon head, is the scariest thing you'll ever see,
gosh.
especially when it blinks.
It's so cool though because you have to. I mean, think about it. You have to actually control the eyes and bounce on a beam at the same time. So you gotta.
Yeah, but you have to also traumatize kids. It's like I don't know if I can.
You
do
can
that.
traumatize a child just by like clowns. Clowns traumatize children. I mean, Teletubbies. Oh my gosh, Teletubbies too. Or the yellow round things called Oopa Hoopas. I forgot what they were called.
My
We don't want to give you any
my
ideas.
little my little
keep up
nephew
the
watches
good.
that.
No,
Keep up the good.
Koopas or whatever. They were like yellow things. They had like a head and they would dance and they're just so scary looking because I gave one to one of my children once and she just started. Cheyenne, my daughter Cheyenne, she started crying like something was like eating her or something. I was like, yeah, never again.
Just let telephone babysit him at a con. She's great with kids, apparently. All right. So, are you going to Furpocalypse? No, you're not going.
I
to
can't. Not this year. Possibly next year.
well.
Possibly next year.
Yeah. All right. Well, so that's Scales for Sales later. Thank you for joining the podcast. Thank you, everyone, for joining the podcast. And I'm going to see you in 2 weeks.
Oh, thank you for having me, by the way.
Of course. Thank you, Raven, Moro, Strypez, Scales, Shock the Fox. And I am Khord Kitty. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Bye. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.